Thanks for joining me. You're watching EpicEats with Janet, and on today's episode, we are going to be making lasagna soup using our Speedy lasagna seasoning packet. But we won't be making lasagna, we'll be making soup. The ingredients that we're going to be needing today are 1 pound of ground beef, 14 ounces of diced tomatoes, 4 to 5 lasagna noodles uncooked. You will need 4 cups of water and our Nourish broth, 2 cups of spinach, and a cup of chopped peppers. The first thing that we're going to do is cook our ground beef. So I'm going to use our multi-purpose pot, 12 cup multi-purpose pot, and I'm going to take our ground beef and it's going to go right into the pot. This is a wonderful one pot meal and it's very, very quick to make. We're going to put that onto the stove and let that cook. So in order to cut up our peppers, we're going to use Epicure's wonderful super sharp knife with a non-slip grip handle. And we're going to go ahead and get our peppers all prepped up and ready to go. We're going to cut the peppers into strips first. And once they're cut into strips, then we'll cut them into little pieces. Those are all ready. So now that our peppers are all chopped up, we're going to go over and check our ground beef and see how that's cooking. I'll be using our ground beef separator to take care of the ground beef. I have about a minute or 2 left to cook. Okay, so before we go on to the next step, I'm going to move our peppers over. And one thing that I wanted to show you is this wonderful cutting mat that I'm using. Comes in a package of 4 different cutting mats and 2 different sizes. And it's great because it folds right up so that you can easily transfer anything that you're chopping into a dish. There we go. So the next thing that we're going to do is take care of the broth that's going to be going into our soup. And I have 4 cups of warm water here, and to that I'm going to add 6 teaspoons of our Nourish broth. Our Nourish broth is basically a chicken-based broth. It's wonderful for all kinds of soups. And we're just going to dissolve that right up. That's it, we're going to set that aside. Okay, so I'm going to be putting our roll-up rack here on the counter because I'll be bringing our ground beef over to the table here so that you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so our beef is nice and cooked. Just going to separate it up a little bit more. We don't want to have any big chunks. We want it to be all chopped up nicely. Okay, now comes the fun part. Now we're going to add all of our other ingredients. So we're going to go ahead and dump in our tomatoes. I'm going to save the noodles for last. We're going to go ahead and put our peppers in. Next comes our spinach, 2 cups. To that, we are now going to add our broth. So right before we add the noodles, we're going to go ahead and we're going to use only half this package of our Speedy lasagna mix. I find that the whole package is a little bit too much, and when you're only using half the package, you get 2 meals out of 1, which is great. So I'm just going to dump in that half of the package, mix it up, and then we're going to break our lasagna noodles directly into the pot. And then this whole thing is going to go back onto the stove and cook long enough for the spinach to get wilted and the noodles to get soft, and that does not take long at all. Now we'll be going back to the stove and letting that cook down. So while the soup is cooking, we are going to go ahead and check it and stir it up. Let's go take a look. Just want to make sure that everything is all stirred up nicely and incorporated. That looks really, really good. So many pretty colors. Our soup is all cooked, so let's get it plated and see how it looks. So there you have it. We have made another amazing meal in under 15 minutes, and I've shown you yet another way to use our Speedy Lasagna meal kit. With Epicure, we make good food real fast. See you next time.